So, this is a new stream that we're starting from here on out every other week. We're going to be talking about random games, news, and any kind of events that's going on. This week, we're going to be talking about PlayStation, Xbox, Marathon, everything going on. Um, but we're starting off today with Marathon. And what do you guys think about Marathon? What's your guys'
uh,
opinions on Marathon?
Go ahead, Nick.
I remember the classic marathon.
Oh, the classic
Original
Marathon.
one.
Oh, you played the actual classic.
Oh yeah, I played the original classic marathon.
Oh,
That's why every time you're
dang.
like, "Let's talk about marathon," I go, "Dad, dad, 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 dad,
Oh,
dad,
all right.
dad."
Well, talk.
I
Have
knew
you
there was
ever?
an original, but I never played it.
Okay, so what is original Marathon? It's not a first-person shooter.
No, it's almost like a Doom-esque style game. They did have
Single
a
player, right?
form, yeah, but they actually did have a form of multiplayer, which is reminiscent of the Halo series' multiplayer. Basically, small arena, pick up weapons, kill your enemies. But that didn't live very long from what I played, because when I played it, it was on the Xbox, and there weren't many people on it either.
So the original didn't do too good.
Yeah. Now
I
I
don't know if the
heard.
multiplayer did good. The original, like with the story and stuff, had interesting stuff to it, but
Yeah.
it was like a Halo story, you know? It had a good premise for single player, but the multiplayer just didn't have the follow.
Yeah, I heard. I heard the game used to be decent. Like they had like a definite cult following and stuff like that. Kind of like the original Fallout games, where like it's different now than what it originally was. Like yeah, it's still a story game, but like how original Fallout started, just like Marathon, it's different. And whenever people saw Marathon for the first time, they're like, "What the fuck is this?"
So the original wasn't an extraction shooter like today's Marathon.
No,
No.
it was actually like a story based. You, I'm gonna butcher it because it's been such a long time since I
Oh, you're
played it, but
fine.
I remember you were captured, I think, by aliens and basically just trying to escape.
Hmm. They should have stuck with that one.
Well, that's what Halo was. Except for Halo, you weren't captured by aliens.
Well, at
You
least
sort
Halo
of,
started off as a first person shooter and it continued as a first person shooter.
That's fair.
yeah.
But looking now
Yeah, well,
at
today's Marathon
yeah,
is an
looking at
extraction shooter,
looking at
which
today's
I did play in the
marathon,
open beta.
did not play
How's it
open
doing?
beta. Nick probably didn't play open beta either. Well, starting back in March, it had around 77,000 players on the regular, and now it is currently sitting at right now there are 6,700 players on it, and it has the highest
Oh
peak
man.
is 7,953 is the highest peak. And uh
Oh,
they just released PvE 2 days
eh,
ago, and
yeah,
PvE was supposed to be the
on
savior
Thursday.
to the game. Yeah, it was supposed to save the game, revitalize
Yeah,
everything. And
I, I think they canceled the wrong game. I
yeah,
think Bungie messed up and canceled the wrong game.
yes. Because yeah, I
They
mean,
should
like
have
I said,
stuck with
it's they're saying how marathons PVE is supposed to revitalize the game, and looking at it, it's like they gained a thousand concurrent players. Now it's on Steam, but
right.
I'm not sitting there
What now?
expecting their console players
Bungie.
to increase by
Well,
8,000.
now Bungie confirmed this. Bungie said 70 to 75% of their player base is on Steam.
Yeah, so
So you can kind
so
of go by
only
those numbers.
yeah, once
It's
Marathon's
rough.
PVE dropped and they only gained a thousand concurrent players, 1,000 concurrent, and that was supposed to be the savior to Marathon, and they canceled Destiny. Like,
Yeah. They definitely shouldn't have canceled Destiny. They should have just kept both IPs. Now, like,
Mhm.
I played the beta. Now, I played Arc Raiders, so that's like the only extraction shooter experience. Well, and DMZ with Call of Duty are the only two extraction shooter experience I got. And DMZ was all right, but the problem was with DMZ, typical Call of Duty players, they after about 2-3 weeks of DMZ being out, everybody started camping the exfils. They weren't playing, going through looting and all that stuff. They'd camp exfil, wait for people to exfil, and kill you at exfil. So I was like, okay, I didn't like that. I did like Arc. Marathon, I just don't think it was for me.
The
Like,
problem
I thought the worlds were too open. Like, there's not a like. How do I say it?
with words.
It doesn't feel like there was a lot going on with words. Yeah, no shit with words. Like the worlds felt empty. The map that I played on, I played like 10 matches. The maps felt empty. It felt like I was running around more just looking for loot than actually doing anything. I only died one time out of the 10 runs I did. And of course, guess what it was? It was by a player that was camping exfil. And I'm like, all right. And that was my last match. I said, okay, I'm done. This is going to turn into ZMZ. Everyone's going to be camping exfil. Don't want to play it.
Well, have you ever
It's
played?
too, and the game's blocking.
Yeah, you ever played like Apex?
Was that the one that I played with you? Or was that League of Legends?
I've never played League of Legends. First off,
Okay, so
do
then it
not
was Apex
insult
that
me
you had me
like that,
try.
sir.
Then it was then it was Apex that you had me try with you. Okay.
It might
I
have
played
been.
a little bit with you, yes.
So games like that, they're more for competitive style play. So Marathon is tailored more towards like a competitive style of gameplay, which is kind of not great whenever a majority of a player base, like any game nowadays, a majority of their player base is like your average gamers. They jump on for a little bit of time, they play for like 2-3 hours a day, and
Right.
they have
Casual
fun.
game, pretty much. They
Yes.
just
Well,
they want to do something to bide their time,
well,
forget their day, and relax a little.
yeah, and the
Well,
casual the
that's what
casual
made
gamer, well, hold up. The casual gamer, since that makes up a majority of any game's player base, um, that means the casual gamer is kind of what you want to tailor a good portion of the game to. And a game like Marathon doesn't have anything that's tailored towards the casual gamer. It's made as like competitive. So you're going to get, and since it has such a small player base, you're going to have a shit ton, and I mean a shit ton of sweaty, hardcore players. So whenever you get out of work and go to play a game, you're not going to want to sit there and try to sweat your ass off to get
Yeah.
5
Oh, right.
kills. So the way they made the game even is just like, why would you set the basis of a game as this super competitive game, release it, and expect to have hundreds of thousands of concurrent players? It just doesn't make sense.
No. Well, that's why Arc Raiders did so well, because Arc Raiders did their extraction. It wasn't competitive, and they have it set to where their matchmaking goes off of your play style. If you're
Mhm.
constantly killing players, you're going to get stuck in PvP lobbies. If you're not killing players and just going around killing AI, the AI stuff, you're just going to get stuck in more friendly lobbies. And which that's why I think a lot of people stuck to Arc Raiders was because of the being able to have casual servers.
Yeah. What's funny though, I can't really say much because like the whole thing's Destiny versus Marathon. I can't really say much because Destiny's
Oh, I
PvP
know.
is atrocious. It is atrocious.
It is. Oh, especially now, it's bad.
Nick, have you ever tried?
Yeah, like-
well, I'm assuming you played
I have.
Destiny.
I've played the multiplayer of it and stuff. The only thing I never got really hard into was the Trials of Osiris, only due to the
Oh.
fact that the one time I went in there, that was like the sweatiest of sweats. That was people just omega level fucking beta gunning everything. If you didn't have the right build or the right setup, the right grenade to neutralize or stun, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have
Right.
a team to go in with, you were messed up because yeah, they had those people that were like, "Hey, I'll trials carry you," but the problem is, then it's not you actually earning; it's you getting carried.
Yeah, I
Which
don't like being carried. If I'm
no,
bad at something, I'm just bad at something. I'm just not going to play
yeah,
it. Like,
and like I said, I'm not a main PvPer. I enjoy my PvE games, which is also
right.
why I never played the new marathon because it's primarily dictated around PvP. Even though they have introduced PvE, it's just like when Fortnite first came out. Fortnite originally came out as a PvE game where there was a story, there was plot, there was all this stuff. And now, if you
Right.
say the term Fortnite, everybody automatically goes to the PvP, like PUBG style building
Oh
kit.
yeah, the battle royale.
Yep.
Like, I don't mind the battle royale. I tried Fortnite when they brought out the battle royale. I didn't like the building part, but now that they have the zero build in it, I actually don't mind the game.
Yeah, it's
I
not.
don't
See,
mind the zero build.
yeah, and
Right.
I think Fortnite did it right. I mean, if you look at it, there's something for everybody. You know what I mean? So they have the casual game styles. They have something that, like us, that work a 9 to 5. You come home and you can just mess around with your friend. It's goofy enough that it doesn't feel serious if you go into some matches with your friends, and you can also go on like a competitive route and really sweat and play on the weekends or something like that if you want. Whereas something like marathon, it's 24/7, all sweaty all the time, and it's like I'm not
Yeah.
interested in something like that.
If you're not down to just push the sweat button and go through it all, then you don't belong there.
Yeah, because
Which
there's
is
even
Yeah.
other
in
games
I'm a,
like
retrospect well, in
sorry.
retrospect, that's why their player base is so low. It's not because the game is really that bad, but
Hmm.
it's the mechanics of the game and how they presented it that make it bad. Because
right.
it's a looter shooter, extraction shooter that if you don't know every mechanic, if you don't know every gun, every point to get out, all that stuff, and you're a casual gamer like us, and you just go into, hey, let's try this and have fun, you get so turned off by it. And that's the problem with that game because it started off with that heavy sweat and pushed
Hmm.
away its fan base.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should have started with two different modes, or kind of like done the arc raider route, or even dropped the PvP. They should have dropped the PvE at launch.
Yeah,
well, the problem with that is there's the higher ups want to get the game pushed out so they can get better sales, so they can also sit there and announce Destiny's going to be pulled back. So a lot of games fail because higher ups are like, yeah, no, we need to get it pushed out. And so yeah, they did push
Right.
it out without anything like PvP, and they might not have even planned for PvP. You look at other games like High Guard and stuff like that. Like the people making that game literally thought it was going to be the next big thing, and it's like it's not. It's just not, especially
No.
since, well, the extractor shooter is a small niche, right? Like if you look at
Yes,
certain
I was gonna say
games,
that.
yeah, you look at certain games and they're kind of for everybody. Like Fortnite has something for everybody. Even Roblox has something for everybody. There's all kinds of games that have a little bit for everybody. Whereas Marathon is a specific niche of extraction shooter, and it's a competitive, like highly competitive extraction shooter kind of game. You're going into a niche, into a niche that's just not thousands of players, so you're not going to get this massive player count.
yeah.
Right, and you can look at the most popular game, Escape from Tarkov. I don't even think it's got a high. What's his player base? Yeah, four. You're looking at almost four 15,000. I'll just round it, like 15,000 playing Tarkov,
Yeah,
and that's like the most popular extraction shooter.
yeah. So looking
Now,
at Tarkov.
what helped Arc 2 was being on console,
Hmm.
where Tarkov's not. Because, like, I mean, I even think, yeah, look, even Arc Raiders finally fell off. It's only holding 35,000 players now,
Yeah,
and look how that launch took off
the
with that
most,
game,
the one you're
and they
talking
carried
about.
that for like 7 months.
The one you're talking about, Escape from Tarkov. Um, they currently have their numbers on Escape from Tarkov is their concurrent players right now is 15,000. Their 30-day average is
Right.
18,000. So Marathon's trying to pull players from games like that, and their player count's around just shy of 20,000. So it's not like there's a big market for some kind of extraction shooter. You know what I mean? Like they're
To
trying
be
to
honest,
That's the
pull
problem.
from a
They
small group of
Spent
people.
way too much money on a niche. Yeah. That was the other thing is that's why they're not making it. They spent $250 million, or is it billion? No, million. $250 million on an extraction shooter.
It's
Who
not
does
billion.
that?
It's not billion. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, it's not billion.
There's no game
Million.
has ever spent 250
Like
billion.
who spends 250 million on a niche game? Like if people enjoy the game, play it. It's there, play it. Nobody. I'm not saying not to play it. Me personally, I didn't like it when I played it in the open beta. It's no ill towards Bungie, with how they treated Destiny 2 and stuff, because I love Destiny 2. Got a pile of hours in that game. I went in open minded, no hate towards Bungie. Let's try this game. Maybe it's going to be good. I didn't like it. I thought the world was too empty. I didn't like the gun style, the graphics, because it feels like Roadblocks with Nerf guns to me. I didn't like it.
Now,
And then you go against the AI. I literally, just to kill one robot, probably went through 4 mags of ammo.
that
And
just
I'm
means you're
like,
not good at the game.
just get good, boy.
Head, right?
Get good.
Yeah, get good, bro.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not supposed to shoot him in the big toe? Shit.
No, you're supposed to shoot him in
So
the
that's
small
what I
toe.
was
That's
doing
Chris'
wrong.
spot.
Oh, this. Yeah. Throw a Lego out in front of him.
Yeah, and like now I could see if Marathon came out as a story game and they had a side thing to do some kind of extraction shooter to where maybe you can get new skins or something like that. There's cool stuff you can get from it, but making just a flat extraction shooter game and making that your primary game for your company instead of something like Destiny. Like if
Is not.
in Destiny, if they added this game mode in Destiny, their player
Dude, that's
base
what I was
would have
playing.
increased. So like you
Marathon
didn't,
would have succeeded better if they would have dropped it in as a playlist.
yeah, and so it's like
in
yeah,
Destiny 2.
kind of like a Trials of Osiris type thing, and you can reuse
Right.
all your assets. Nobody will sit there and be like, "You're using your other game's assets." You know what I mean? Like you don't have to reuse assets because the assets are already in that game. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
you're
And
not
they
going
can
to
Go
even
back
set it
to
up like
games like The Division. The Division started off as
yes.
a story game, taught you how to play through doing all the stories, and then at a certain point said, "Here you go. Now you're going into the red zone or whatever."
yeah.
Where it
Oh, the Dark
was
Zone.
the dark zone. That's right. Where it was a PvP extraction. But at that point, you already had everything you needed to know, and you were ready to go because you played part of the story to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have took a
And then the
route
nice
like that, I think they would have did a lot better.
Yeah, and it would have helped Destiny 2 out a lot more too then.
Yeah.
It could have brought new players to Destiny 2 that we didn't have. And they were
And-
already struggling getting new players to play Destiny to begin with.
Yeah,
Well,
they were
problem with
letting
Destiny.
Sorry, go ahead. Okay. They were letting Destiny 2 limp for 3-4 years now. Like they weren't putting
Yeah.
everything they could into that game. They were just keeping it alive for the longest time. And I think it's because they were
Until
probably
they
in
released
development.
Marathon.
Well, yeah, I think it's because like a game development isn't 2 months. You know what I mean? It takes like anywhere
right.
between 2 to 4 years at minimum to
I wanna
develop a
say
game.
5 years they were working on Marathon. It was 5 years, I believe.
Yeah, and you look at Destiny, and it's like Destiny's been going downhill for the past like 5 years. It's like maybe, just maybe,
it was, but when they redid and finally started the Light Dark saga, and actually finally bring it to end with like Witch Queen Beyond Light was okay. Witch Queen was phenomenal. Like that's one of my top 5 expansions that released in D2. Lightfall, the story was horrible. Like the story was complete ass. The new subclass we got though with it was pretty good. Was fun. Really enjoyed that. The new planet location area we got was I didn't mind that. The story
like
was just
city
ass.
one,
And then Final
right?
Shape. Yeah, it's kind of like a almost like a cyberpunk city.
Well, what it reminded me of
And
was
then-
like Halo. You know what I mean? Like going in through one of the technologically advanced cities or something like that. That's on like an
Yeah,
arc.
I never really
kinda
played
world.
Halo, so I really can't answer on that part.
You never
Something I
played,
would
but
say happens
then they-
with Destiny 2 is the fact that it was at the end of its life a few years ago. Like
Well, they
a
should
game,
have.
a
Final
game
Shape
is
should have
only
been the
made
last
to
thing.
last at most 8 to 10 years.
tell that to
At
World of
that
Warcraft.
Well, the
Right.
thing is with World
They're
of
the only one
Warcraft,
that's done it.
they continually
Or-
evolve their story. They continually evolve the world. When you take something like Destiny, where this is the Traveler, this is the Little Light, this is your Guardian, this is that, and they don't expand out from that, and they just keep it inside the circle of this is your knowledge. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's the darkness is coming. Okay. Well, the darkness never
And we
evolved
never-
in anything other than the witness.
Right.
Or
But that campaign was phenomenal. Like
the
to me,
campaign was
that's
great.
the number one expansion. Yeah, that
the
expansion was
problem-
the best expansion ever.
The problem came when they said this is going to be the end of the story. Because
Yeah,
it is
like-
just
and that's when
that.
they should have
It is
ended
a
D2.
story. So when you
Right.
tell your player base, hey, we have a story game for you, you got to think, okay, it started in Destiny 1. Had a great following up through. Okay, they gave hints for Destiny 2 coming out because of the darkness, the Traveler leaving, all that other stuff. Brought out Destiny 2, pushed all the way through, you finally taking down the darkness, the enemy of the light.
Yeah.
That's it.
It should have ended with Final Shape should have been the end of D2. Now,
Yeah.
the seasons they gave us, they were I did enjoy 2 of the seasons, I want to say. Yeah, 2 of the seasons I actually enjoyed. That was fine that they were doing the seasons after Final Shape because it's like, well, let's keep it going. But they should have had D3 in production instead of Marathon.
Yeah.
Is what they should have been doing. Instead of giving us that Edge of Faith expansion, what was absolute ass. Like that expansion was horrible.
Oh.
Renegades was fun, enjoyed it. Was it one? It's not one of their top tier expansions, but it's not one of their worst. I think what helped that one though was the Star Wars theme. You know, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
But
we even have
that
a
wasn't
friend.
saving Destiny 2.
Yeah, we even have a friend that no matter what it is, if you throw Star Wars in it, they're gonna play the game for at least a couple days. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they're gonna jump into it and just try it.
yeah, and then the real question is, what deal did they make with Disney for the Star Wars stuff? Because yeah, you're gonna get
Yeah.
10,000 more players added into your game, 80,000 more players added into your game, but how much are you paying
What would
Disney?
you
So was
sell
it
out?
was it worth it?
Yeah.
Well,
to be
between
fair,
Edge of Fate and Renegades, go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I was going to say, to be fair, though, I don't think Destiny 2 should have gone into a Destiny. The best stories are those that end when it should end. Because if you think about it, if they did Destiny 3, well, now they've got to think of a brand new enemy type. They've got to think of why are the Guardians still fighting? Even if they're doing cleanup, I mean, cleanup is post game of Destiny 2, going
Yeah,
through.
well,
Because
they
in
need-
Destiny 2, you already had the Cabal as your allies. You already had the Vex, who basically turned to the point where they weren't really fighting you that much anymore. It was just the timey-wimey bullshit that was fighting. And
Right.
the
The best thing they
Icons
could have
pretty
done
much
it-
gained all of them as your allies because of the different houses you united. So
Right.
the only enemy truly left was the Witness and the Darkness, because even in, what was it, the Taken, they were even turned towards your side at that point. Because
Right.
you mastered light
Well-
and dark and became their person. So to be honest,
Yeah, they
with
started
them
giving
pushing
us-
as much as they were, And as much as the fan base is like, oh, they should have did D3. Why didn't they produce D3? Because there's no story left for it. And for them to
Right.
make an entirely new story, they're going to have to make an entirely new game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
in the
what they should
defense
have
of
done-
D2, I don't think they should have thought about D3. Now, if they had ties to D2 in Marathon and took some of their assets from D2 into Marathon and made it a PvE starting style into PvP style game, I think it would have received a better affection from the D2 community.
Right. So let me restart this with Edge of Fate. I said Edge of Fate was ass. So Edge of Fate, the new location we got, Kepler, was ass because they took away the whole. You basically, if you went on the Kepler, you were there by yourself unless you went in with the fire team. There was no other like Roman Guardians and stuff like on every other planet. So that was horrible. Portal, they half-assed Portal. Portal could have been good, but they half-assed it. Now the storyline setting up for the future of Destiny was actually fantastic. The story was great. Same thing with the Renegades. The story was good. Setting up Bell. I think his name was Bell. Something like that. Setting that up. So they were in the right direction, but honestly, that stuff should have been a Destiny 3. It should have never been expansions on a D2.
Well, the problem with it
And
is
they should have taken more time.
yeah, just like Nick was saying, the problem with it is for every story there's a start point and there's an end point. And
Right.
you even look at movies nowadays. You look at anything, right? Like the first movie is always one of the best because it's nostalgic. The second movie is pretty good, but then once the story ends in anything, you look at anime, movies, anything. Dragon Ball Z, for instance. Once the story ended, once like the main villain was defeated, that was like your prime real estate of viewers, of people interacting
Right.
with the media source. And then whenever you go to change to other things, you get a massive drop because people are like, oh, they killed Frieza. Like, I don't care, like the end happened. Or yeah, they beat the whatever. So a game like Destiny already having an endpoint and you hit it a while ago, just making more is like you're trying to bleed an already dead horse. And yeah, you're gonna get some viewers. Yeah, you're gonna make some content that looks cool, that acts cool, but it should have ended a while ago. And the only thing you can do, in my opinion, since the story's done, is you can either do a prequel or 1,000 years into the future, this happened, right? They're just trying to get extra blood out of something that's dead at this point. And now the Nukes expansion was good because the gameplay was good, the maps were built well, and then Marathon comes along and it's kind of like has nothing to do with Destiny, and it's not good.
No. Like I said, like with if you would have played Edge of Fate, the story, we're strictly going off the story itself because the content was horrible.
Mhm.
The story was fantastic, like the narrative part of it. The storytelling was freaking phenomenal.
Yes.
The content was ass. Renegades story was good. It had its build up, continuing off of Edge of Fate. It was a good story too. The content was decent. Content was definitely a lot better than Edge of Fate. So they were building a whole new story, and they do have an endpoint because, like, if you would have played those two, and now that they just did their Moments of Triumph, which the stuff they just released a month ago, might be a little bit longer than a month now. Or was that this month they released it? I forget what month they released it. It was either this month or I don't remember. But it feels like we've been left hanging because you played Edge of Fate, you played Renegades, and you're like, okay, this story was going in an awesome direction. Well, what's the ending to it? Like, I want the ending of this damn story that they started.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, the only ending to a true story is the death of the main character. And in a game, well, no, to be fair, like, think about it. In Halo, going back to Bungie's classic, what was the end? They haven't reached it yet because they're still making Halo games.
They haven't reached it.
At a certain point, when do you stop caring? Like, going back through all the original classic Halos, The best story that I always enjoyed was Reach, just due to the fact that you weren't
Gotta
playing
peek with.
as
Keep going.
John 117. You were playing as a totally different person. And for that, I loved it because it gave a different perspective. Halo ODST. It was a great open world Halo fighting game, but the I liked it because it gave a story that wasn't the primary. I've played the primary story, you know. Now I get to see the side of the UNSC, the how they all fought, what they were doing while John 117 was taking on the Covenant in space and
Mm-hmm.
on the Halo rings. With Destiny, I mean, how far can you push your main character, especially since he went from being a deceased corpse to learning how to master the three elements of his light, to his light evolving and getting other abilities with it, to mastering the darkness and finding true balance. It's almost like a DBZ character where the main antagonist just keeps getting more and more powers. At a certain point, when do you get tired? When do you get bored with it? Because hey, no matter what, I'm still at the end of the day going to be the strongest thing here. Like I would rather see the perspective of others. So if they made a game where you played as not a guardian, but were alongside guardians using their powers, I think that would have been an interesting direction for Destiny to take. Because then you could play as a civilian, like fighting the Cabal, and oh my god, you feel so weak facing them because you're a basic human. You're not protected by the light and dark.
Now, whenever you said the end of a story is whenever the main character dies, I kind of agree because that is an end to a story. But
Yes.
like you could have it as you finally saved the world, right? Game over.
Yeah.
Don't bring anything in after that. Once you saved everything, once you defeated the big bad, over, done. Nothing after that.
Yeah.
If you defeated a big bad, it is over and you need to move on to something else. And like I said, just like how you said one of your favorite things, one of your favorite things was Reach. Like I said, prequel.
Yeah.
Maybe if they said Destiny, a new world, like made a Destiny 3 or something like that, which is Destiny, a new world. It could have been how the what's the giant mechanical thing called,
Oh, the Traveler.
yeah, like how the Traveler was created. Now you're getting way more information on the Traveler. You create a new character. There's different abilities and stuff like that because you don't have to, it doesn't deal with the light and stuff like that you have to open up the elements. There could be new stuff going on, and it's literally the story of how the Traveler was created, why it was sent out into space, why it went to Earth and stuff like that. That would have been a good game.
Even if they went back to, because the Traveler existed since whatever, it's like the beginning of the Big Bang.
That's
If they
the
decide,
time.
if they decided to say, okay, we're going to prequel it back to the Golden Age, because they always talk about the Golden Age technology, the Golden Age this, the Golden Age that. If they would have prequeled us back into the Golden Age, I would have even tolerated that and been like, okay, let's go back to the Golden Age and see what it actually was.
They also hindered Destiny too by staying in just the sole solar system. We never like there's this entire universe that we have that the Cabal came from, the Hive, this and that, and we only stayed in our solar system. Like, there's so much more they could have explored in that with that game with the mass majority of the universe
Yeah, you could have
and
had,
like the powers we had and everything. Like, we could have went to another. We
yeah,
should have left the Milky Way.
yeah, same thing how Nick said about like how ODST was it was decent. Now I didn't like ODST, but like there's people who liked it and hated it. But you still could have made,
Yeah,
again, you could have made Destiny 3 galaxies or something like that to where you went to a completely different galaxy. and there's a whole
Right.
different
Like
story running. There's different people. Possibly
right.
you found this special magical force in this new galaxy, and there's a fight over it. Then there's literally callbacks to stuff of oh yeah, back in our home galaxy, the traveler, blah blah blah. You're meeting new people, meeting new even species, meeting all different kinds of things to really expand the game, expand the lore. You want to expand the lore, not expand a linear story. Expanding the lore makes people more interested. If you expand a story and just try
Right.
to beat a dead horse and continue this thing that should have ended, then it's like there's not good content.
Right. I said it this way. I said it best this way is if you would have taken Destiny's content, like the storyline, the raids, and all that stuff, and took Starfield's map, the universe of Starfield, that would have been a fantastic freaking Destiny
They
game.
can't do
Because you
that.
had so many locations.
You,
No, I know, but like, you know how insane that would have been to have like a raid on each planet?
the
I
problem
mean,
with
we are
that
talking
is
100 planets in
yeah,
Starfield.
the problem with that is the
I'm not
size
saying
and
that
scope.
big.
Yeah, the size and scope. Well, even if you use 1/10 of it, the size and scope to have as a multiplayer is insane.
Oh, yeah.
That would be so
Well, and
extremely
that's why
difficult.
that was one thing holding Destiny 2 back was they were still on old gen consoles.
Yes.
So they had to make everything around old gens. So it really never, I think that's prevented them from doing a lot of content and stuff. I mean, look, they had to start bolting content. And people were like, oh, this is bullcrap. I don't know why they are bolting content. Because the old gen consoles wouldn't be able to withstand all that content. Hell, they wouldn't even have the memory for all that content.
Well, if you
Like
look
the
at
storage
games,
space.
if you look at games that have lasted the test of time, like I always make the example World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft's graphics haven't
I mean,
they haven't really increased. So in my opinion, if you
no.
want to have longevity of a game, you need to have old gen, new gen, different consoles, PC, everybody be able to interact with it because there's a large player base that has old gen. And so if you sit there and say, we're going to make everything new gen because we're going to have a big burst of money because people are going to want to buy this game for the new gens, you're cutting out a big part of your marketplace. You know what I mean? Like if you do increase those
Yeah, I can see
graphics,
that.
then you're cutting out players. You're cutting out potential people to buy the game.
Right. But I mean, it didn't hurt Battlefield 6, and it's not looking like it's hurting GTA 6 either, with
Well,
only being new gen and PC. Well,
those
actually, GTA 6 is only new gen consoles.
yeah, those are different. Like you're looking at your Call of Duties, you're looking at your
I mean, true.
Battlefields. Those are already set up to be a yearly release and stuff like that, where it's like you
That's
get the new
true.
one. It's
No,
kind of
that's a
like
fair point.
Madden. You know what I mean? It's like Madden
Right.
or any
And
one of
as
those
far
games.
as your GTA
Well,
stuff, that's a
Battlefield
whole
6,
separate
like Battle,
story.
yeah,
You know?
that is 'cause
GTA is
Rockstar's got
also
the
a
name.
single player game, which has a
Yeah.
multiplayer aspect, but it's mainly a single player
Right.
game.
That's added later. Right. Like, yeah, because like Call of Duty, like you said, is every year, and they keep it on old gens, new gens, and PC. I get Battlefield 6 because Battlefield we don't get every year. Battlefield that can be anywhere from 2 to 5 years till we get the next one. But they're always, and Battlefield's a completely different game than Call of Duty too. You know, especially when you're talking the size of maps when you're doing like Conquest, but they have all kinds of game modes.
Yeah, I like how Battlefield does it more than Call of Duty because like I stopped playing Call of Duty because every year they come out with a new game. Like it's every year. It's every single year. Battlefield,
Yeah, it
like
gets exhausting.
yeah, they come out with a new one every couple of years. And that's if it is a couple
Right.
of years. Now, it does suck
Yeah.
because if
And they
like
improve, except for 2042.
yeah, if you look at the problem with that
Let's not
though,
get into that one.
yeah, the problem with that though is like if you're looking at Call of Duty, the newest one they made, oh, that was terrible. It was a terrible game. But it
Oh,
doesn't really
7?
it doesn't affect them though because they're going to come out with a new one again within a year. So it's like, oh, well, you know,
people will just
scrap
be like,
it, who
okay, I'll wait till
cares?
next year.
Yeah, next year's going to be a better one. So it's kind of like
Yeah, we'll wait till next year. We're like Battlefield, yes. Like I really thought DICE was done, and Battlefield was done when 2042 failed. I'm like, a lot of people didn't take the Battlefield 1 and 5 because it was the error. A lot of people didn't like that error Were they good games? They were probably good games, but like me personally, I didn't like the errors. I liked your Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. Then they gave us 2042, and they tried to make it more like COD. And it's just like, no, this is not why we play Battlefield. We're playing Battlefield because it's not Call of Duty, and we can't stand Call of Duty no more.
Well, there's also a difference in gameplay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Battlefield's made for bigger battles. It's made to have all those vehicles added in. There's stuff like bullet drops, so sniping is a lot more fun in Battlefield than it is in Call of Duty, in my opinion. Yeah, so like
you're not gonna 360 no scope a motherfucker with a sniper rifle.
Well, you just don't
try me.
You just don't point and shoot. Yeah, you just don't point and shoot. You actually have to count for bullet drop, and that's what I liked with like 3 and 4. Not only did you have to count for bullet drop with sniping, but you also had to count with when you were running on a run and gun, depending on your range, like with an AR, if the person's running like left to right, and you got to follow them or stay ahead of them when you start shooting to hit them. You know, it had a more realistic feel to it with Battlefield,
and that's the thing.
Other than just, hey, I'm gonna sit in the corner. Oh, there's a guy. I'm gonna point. And he's dead. Woohoo!
But and that's a difference of game. So Battlefield, especially whenever it 1st came out, it was worthwhile because it's a first-person shooter, military style, blah blah blah. But it had its own little nuance of gameplay where it fit better into a giant map with a bunch of people and vehicles and all kinds of. So like, it was a first-person shooter. But it was specialized enough. It felt different than Call of Duty. And you look at something like Marathon, they didn't make anything new. There's already Apex that's like that. There's already, if you're talking about extractions, there's already stuff like Tarkov, Arc Raiders. There's so many better options. So whenever Marathon came out, they didn't have their own distinctive, what makes this interesting. There's nothing that made it interesting.
They were 5 years too late.
Yeah, there's nothing that made it interesting compared to the other games that are out.
No, like if Marathon came out 5 years ago, we'd probably be talking different with Arc Raiders then. I think that's what really killed Marathon. What hurt Marathon was coming out after Arc Raiders. Well, it's like, oh, Arc Raiders already did it. And Arc Raiders is a casual extraction shooter, where Marathon is, hey, if you want to play Marathon, you got to sweat your balls off. Or don't play. Is all there's.
I think I still would have compared it to The Division. The extraction shooting, like the Dark Zone, because that was the classic. That was the first time I remember having to really deal with an extraction zone. I got the loot. Oh, I have to get here. I have to cross all the way across the city to get to this one point. And then once I get there, I have to signal the helicopter. Like, going back through
and fight your
the
way
division.
Until the chopper got there.
Yep, and hold off and fight waves of enemy PvE enemies and player enemies
and PvP. Yeah, and the nice thing with what I like with the Dark Zone, what they did, I didn't play much of the Dark Zone, but I've tried it just to try it. What I like what they do is you go in with your set gear. You only lose what you get out of what you pick up in the Dark Zone. So if you go in with your actual loadout that you built, doing the raids and all the, PvE content, and you go and get ready to go into Dark Zone, you don't lose none of that stuff. You just lose what you pick up in the Dark Zone. I like that aspect.
Yeah.
Because at least I'm not losing everything I just spent, 50 hours grinding for, 50 to 100 hours grinding for. You don't lose all that. Where you put 50 hours into Marathon, you can have one match. There goes your entire 50 hours of what you were doing. It's just gone down the drain because you lost it all.
Yeah.
And there's no casual. I mean, they did add the PvE, but it didn't look like it really took. Looking at the numbers,
it increased their number count by roughly 1,000 because they were constantly bleeding players out.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, they were constantly bleeding. They were almost having their player base daily, and they dropped down to a roughly 5,000 player count for a daily average, and now it's currently at like 6,000 as of today. Whenever I just looked at it, it's currently as of like a 6,000 average. So they gained 1,000 concurrent players on Steam. So it's
And yeah, personally, I don't like the game, but I do feel bad for the players that actually enjoy the game, that think it's a good game, and are enjoying it, because the game's gonna die soon. Like
Well,
they're gonna end it soon.
they're enjoying a
If you look at
game
if
that
numbers keep going
is
down,
made to be like Destiny, although it's an extraction. That's why I'm saying it should have just been
right?
a mode in Destiny.
Yeah, I think it would have been a lot better, as you said, as a game mode in Destiny.
All right, so
You know, because you would
takeaways.
have brought
Sorry, go ahead.
takeaways. Marathon's fucked, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I mean, that's all you really can say. Like, you know, like I give the game, off my personal view, if I had to rate it, I gave it a 5 out of 10. That's just me personally, and I'm not an extraction shooter, so I mean that's gonna hurt its rating too on my end.
Of
You
course,
know,
you're not
because
an
it's just not
extraction
my
shooter.
style.
You're a person.
Shut up. Holy Christ, what an asshole.
Hey, folks. This is No Luck from the Gamer Dad's podcast. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.